Hi everybody, I hope you're doing amazing today. Um, this video is just a quick update about the current situation of Reconnect and the investors. So when I started Reconnect, I thought one of the hardest thing would be to find money to finance the project. Turns out it's not the case, and a lot of people are very interested in investing in the project. Obviously, we do have a ton of challenges because it's a remote island, it's Indonesia, there's a lot of logistics and a lot of stuff to consider, and we're trying to create something, somehow unique. So obviously, we're also facing unique challenges. From the investor point of view only, turns out that finding the money is not the hard part, but the hardest part for me right now is to find the ideal deal for the investors. And I have been thinking about this for weeks actually, because we got early investors who supported the project before I even have the land. Those are like friends and family money. So that was the first stage. Now there's a second stage when we need the money to actually, build the project. So we already get 20% of this money, which is amazing. And the third stage will be, the stage when we actually reach the full size of the project with the 10 accommodations, with the swimming pool and everything, right? So 3 stages, and now we're stage 2. What's happening is that when you get investors, it's not as simple as, taking money from them and giving them shares. I need to value their money in a proper way. I want to value their money based on the risk they're taking. For instance, people who invested in the first stage before I even have the land need to have their money more valued than people investing right now. And people investing right now needs to have their money more valued than people investing next year. Now, in Indonesia, most of the people would do what is called it's leasehold, basically, that they would sell for 20 years, and then they would sell this as an investment in real estate. But most of them don't own the land, they just build a villa on the land they're leasing, and this is not the type of thing I want to do. This is what's gonna happen in the third stage when we already built something, but we will own the land, we will own the units, and that will be slightly different. Anyway, back to the current situation. So we do have the land, we do have a team there who is cleaning the land. We're planning building the deck, the jetty, so the boats can come and just load materials and people. We're working on developing all the infrastructure that we will need to build the resorts. So that's the current stage, and we have funds for this stage. The thing is, to properly raise funds, you need to know exactly how much money you need, which makes perfect sense and is perfectly obvious. However, with a project like the one we have, turns out that having a proper estimation of how much money we need to raise isn't the simplest thing ever. It's actually quite hard. Because the logistics is nothing that anybody done before, because nobody's ever built something on that island specifically. So we need to consider everything about bringing the workers, bringing the material, how do the workers are gonna live there, when they're building building the bungalows and the restaurant and everything. So we need to provide them food, we need to have electricity before we even install the solar panel installation. We need to fly the workers there from Bali for the bamboo structure. It's a lot of things to think about, and it makes it extremely hard to make a proper budget. So For instance, the, the very first idea I had was that the project would cost us around 500K. And now, now I'm actually looking at the estimations. And if we want to build, the full thing, it's more likely to cost us around 1 million or more. And actually, it's fine based on the size of the project. It actually makes sense. The 500K was a very, very optimistic estimation, and that was very, very ignorant for me to have this in my mind. But it doesn't matter. Right now, we're having more and more estimations, and I'm making them more and more specific. And I have this huge Excel sheet where I'm putting everything we already paid, everything we need to pay, everything we plan to invest, and all of this in the same place, so I can get a proper overview of how much the whole project is gonna cost. Then I'm also a beginner, which is, when you're investing in a project with a developer, you're gonna look at their track record, and I don't have any track record, and I want people to trust me, and I genuinely want to do my best, so everybody's happy and everybody's making money, and we can develop the project properly as we plan. But intentions are great, but they're not enough, right? So I have to back my intentions with actions, which means I'm spending a lot of time talking with people who are advising me, with mentors, with people who've done that before, so I can learn directly from them. It's not like I'm taking some shortcuts, but I get specifically the knowledge I need at the time I need it, so I can learn from them. And this whole thing makes it fairly hard to raise funds. Especially I don't have a team right now. I do have people helping me, but I don't have a proper team, people next to me working on it every day and just nailing it. So when I'm making an investor pitch deck, I make it by myself. When I make a website, I make it by myself. When I'm sharing about the project, I make it by myself. When I need to sign papers, or I need to start to have some workers there, I need to go there by myself, and I need to make the deal with them by myself. And all of this is done in Bahasa, Indonesia, which is the hardest thing I've done so far. And to be honest, this is the most challenging and the best thing I've done so far. It's so intense, and there's so many things to learn, and my brain is just so challenged that I really love it. So yeah, I started with sharing with you, what's the hard part with this project for now, and this is also the thing I love the most. So taking something really new for me, something I don't know anything about. Like, I'm brand new to real estate. I'm brand new to developing a private island and doing business in Indonesia, even though I've been based in Bali for 3 years, right? And all of this, dealing with architects, dealing with contractors, dealing with lawyers, with notaries, with local workers, all of this is very, very stimulating, and I really love it. So it's hard, it's true, it is. And for the past few days, I had some very tough times with understanding the way I should do things, because I said I do have the greatest intention, but transforming this intention into the right action is very hard. I need to understand what are the investors' expectations, what will be our clients' expectations, what we can bring to the community there, and what villages around in this region of Indonesia would expect from us, to give back. What do they actually need? What do we want to bring? All of this is very hard, and it's very stimulating. So yeah, I'm super happy to share that with you. And yeah, as I say, had quite some few tough days for the past week, and now things just adding up together, and I start to see, to be able to see the big pictures, and this is making me extremely excited, and I wanted to share this story with you guys. Bye everybody.